Let's roll back. Hello, everyone. This is the Kubernetes SIG Testing community meeting. My name is Benjamin Elder. I'll be hosting today, one of the SIG leads. Today is December 15th, 2020. This meeting will be recorded and posted to YouTube, and this meeting is under the CNCF Code of Conduct. The very terse version of it is be excellent to each other. Thank you all. And we'll lead with Matt.
All right, I'm Matt Foley. I've got a fair bit of experience in Apache groups, but have not participated in a CNCF group before, so I'm glad to be here. I'm very interested in integration testing specifically. It seems like there isn't a lot of prior art on standardizing integration test frameworks. I'd be very grateful for pointers that people have to prior work there, but also I'm interested in seeing if we can get some thorough integration testing of Kubernetes stacks available in under the aegis of this SIG.
Hi, Matt. Welcome. Yeah, I think most of our testing has wound up being end-to-end because it tends to get tricky to isolate a particular component, given that almost everything bounces through the API server. We do have some tests that we call integration in the main repo that are like component plus API server plus etcd, but those are actually largely bash for reasons.
A good start, nevertheless.
I think it would be good to explore. You might find a little bit of friction and things like getting adoption. Like I said, like we've had some efforts in the long past, but I think they've mostly been ignored because developers have found it, for many components more viable to just take the integration test framework and write one there.
By the way, I have a hearing impairment. So I'll sometimes ask people to repeat, and I didn't catch that last bit. Say again.
I think I was saying something along the lines of the because it's the developers I think have sort of chosen end-to-end because they can test all of their components there consistently, whereas like integration, maybe we could probably more deeply cover certain components, but it would be a lot harder to cover other ones.
Right. One of the interesting question is where the cut lines should be, right?
Right.
But end to end is also a very good start. So I'd love to be pointed at that stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say anyone should strongly mimic what's going on in the main repo right now. There's a lot of discussion around, gee, it'd be nice if we could do this better, but also it's like this huge mature-ish thing, so it's kind of hard to get rid of. But you can find what we're doing for Kubernetes under test/edui in the main repo, and that's all the end tests. There's also an integration directory adjacent, but as I said, that's a little bit less interesting at the moment.
Thanks.
Cool. I wanted to introduce myself as well. So I'm Unkit. I work with Matt Foley. He's my manager. And for us, like we're also just trying to figure out how we can do internal releases for Kubernetes also with our own internal components, etc., and have a good validation and testing pipeline in place for that. So that's why we're here, and would like to learn and contribute as well in the future.
Awesome. When you say Kubernetes releases, do you mean like applications or like a Kubernetes distro?
Kubernetes distro.
Yeah, for that, I would definitely recommend taking a look at the end-to-end tests. In particular, the conformance suite is a really good starting point, but you can expand from there to get better coverage for things we haven't quite worked out how to put in conformance yet.
Yeah, I think we have started exploring the conformance test quite a lot in our team. So, yeah, thanks a lot. We'll be around.
Okay, my turn. Okay, I'm Mimi, and I'm also in the same group as Matt and Unkit. And I'm the one who's going to be focused on the testing part of the Kubernetes in Apple and for our own distribution. So I'm the one actually looking into the E2E test frameworks in the test, and I'm hoping that we can see something valuable for us, we can adopt it from the existing work and running some tests to evaluate the entire Kubernetes in the system integration level instead of components level. So I joined the group sometimes back, but I never said anything, just observing, and I like to get more active as we are going like to be participating more and probably learn something from it, and if we can contribute to it as well.
Welcome. It's great to see so many new faces today.
Thank you.
So since I was just going to say hi. I'm Patrick. I'm working on SIG Securities, static analysis tool for KEP 1933, which hopefully will be part of the visible proud jobs in the near future. So yeah, hello.
Hi. Yep. So I'm Vladimir. I'm from VMware. I come here in and out. But today, since I didn't know if we were going to have a meeting or not, so I didn't post anything on the doc. But I'm part of the testing common effort, which is kind of a subgroup, I believe. And one of the things that we're trying to do is come up with a testing framework, end-to-end testing framework 2, as you alluded to. The current testing framework can be hard to use if you're trying to consume it programmatically, because it's embedded directly inside Kubernetes. So one of the effort that started earlier, maybe about a couple months ago, we're looking to see what a testing framework end-to-end would look like, and taking another stab at it to make it easy for folks to create end-to-end testing. And the way we're looking at it is we have Kubetest 2, which allows you to stand up your environment, and now we're looking at, hey, what would it look like to have an opportunity to create a new end-to-end testing framework that can be easily consumed and write test about and reason about. Our first, we're not going to try to undo or rewrite the massive amount of testing that's already in Kubernetes, but eventually, as folks adopt this and kind of shake out what works and what doesn't, hopefully we can circle back around to Kubernetes to see what can be done there. But this is definitely a long haul project, so we'll see. And I pasted the excuse me, the link, and I'll put it in the doc as well. I pasted in the chat for Zoom. So if you want to check it out, give me some feedback. And also I have the link in Testing Commons is where we're going to be socializing around this. So if you want to join that Slack channels, it's SIG-Commons. That's all I have.
Vladimir, it was nice to meet you. Thank you. And I'll look forward to reading the doc.
Thank you.
And working with you going forward. Sounds like a great
Absolutely.
project.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for that. Can you? I don't remember this from my inbox. If you haven't already, can you send this to the SIG testing mailing list so we can get more people looking at it? I know there's the Testing Commons subgroup, but I think we have a number of people that aren't necessarily in that yet that'd be interested in this.
Yeah, I'll send it out on. I'll send out a notice on just regular testing. Yep.
Thank you.
Patrick, did you want to introduce yourself?
I thought I already went.
Oh, there's lots of other people. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not used to Zoom.
Sorry, Ben, you're muted.
Ben, you're muted.
Sorry, Claudia, did you want to bring up your topic?
Oh yeah. Basically, I had a couple of questions regarding this issue. I don't know if you know any new updates. It's kind of hard to track all the discussions because it's basically spread across multiple repos and multiple issues. On Docker Hub, it's more like spider web. But apparently, we are still getting hit by the Docker Hub rate limiting, even though we should be using mirror registries for the test jobs. And I have sent some time ago some pull requests which would address this issue. One of them would be to use the mirror.gcr.io into the E2E test images as default instead of Docker Hub. And the other one is to just have the Docker Hub images into the staging registry, which is already being used by the other images as well. And basically, it's a small, almost no up change that needs to be added to the Kubernetes test images. So
Yeah, I think the last update is that we want to take the second approach. The first approach, the mirror is really a cache and isn't meant to be used as a primary host, especially outside of GCP. It is actually originally introduced as just an optimization to get faster pulls inside GCP. The moving things into our Kates.gcr.io makes a lot of sense to me and was discussed a little bit further in workgroup Kates Emperor. I think the problem is just getting anyone to pick it up.
I actually have sent a pull request for that. I can unabandon it. If you see in the issue I've linked, I've left a comment there, and one of them is the one that mirrors the images to the staging registry. The only thing that we'll have to do now, in addition to this, would be to add the jobs to test infra, because Antonio made some changes to how the tests are being triggered, and now all the test images are being built atomically. So each individual image has its own job. So he also wrote a script, so we just have to run the script to generate the jobs for the new test images, to say so. But I can do that by at the very last, maybe not today, but tomorrow definitely.
Yeah, I think that would be super helpful. The only other thing I remember now, paging back in, I've been out for a bit between this. Stephen Augustus was looking at having the release engineering group and SIG release own some of this. We need to mirror all the things, possibly broader than test images. I believe some work was done in Kates.io to create a staging registry for this. I'm not sure how far that get. We should probably get back in touch with Stephen.
Mm-hmm. Well, one idea was that I think someone else mentioned is that it would be a really good idea to have the same images into the same registry to be more consistent. So I think for the E2E test images, we could still use the same registries as we already are.
Sorry, so there's the staging registry and then there's the production registry, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A staging for this, but I definitely think we should probably be trying to get all the images we use in E2E into the Kubernetes production registry, because that means that beyond even testing, you can just deal with in your like air-gapped environment mirroring just the one prod registry and whichever images we use both for production Kubernetes and for staging for a typical cluster that's using upstream components and upstream testing. Also, apologies everyone. This is Bobby, and this is why I've been here in the meeting and glassing away and stuff. I've got a Chewy rescue pup here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
Okay then. Yeah, then I'll unabandon that pull request and I'll just send the pull request to test infra as well, which adds the necessary jobs for the new images in quotation marks.
Yeah, I'm extremely +1 on that. I'll if you drop me a ping, I'll take a
Yep.
look at those.
Yes, yes, of course. Thanks.
Well, thank you all for coming. Usually we're a little bit more organized on this with the meeting agenda and everything, but I think kind of being the end of the year, it's not on everyone's front mind. So hopefully we'll get things a little bit more streamlined for 21, and you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.